Hi friends, I'm Pastor Diana. Welcome to a daily devotion. I'm so glad you've paused in the midst of your day, maybe at the beginning, maybe in the middle to refocus, or maybe at the end to reflect on the day, to spend some time as we consider what it means to be devoted to God. We've been talking about how when we devote our lives to God that we are changed, and one of these ways is especially through the practice of prayer. And so I want you to listen to these words, which I know I find really challenging because sometimes I'm pretty limited in my thinking, that are from Jesus' Sermon on the Mount about fasting and what the power of fasting is. Jesus says this, "And when you fast," which was a common practice, "don't put on a sad face like the hypocrites. They distort their faces so people will know they are fasting. I assure you, they have their reward. But when you fast, brush your hair and wash your face, and then you won't look like you're fasting to people, but only to your Father who is present in that secret place. Your Father who sees in secret will reward you." You know, first of all, sometimes I hear the fasting and I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't go without meals. So we can talk about different practices. But what Jesus is really talking about is a spiritual practice that was sometimes used to be put on display to show people that I am more important. I can do this. Look at me. And instead, Jesus says, no, what it means, the practice, is about being devoted to God. It's about you and your relationship with God. It's not about other people so that they can see it. It's about you and your devotion. And so I want you to consider today, what are the things that you do which show your devotion to God in sometimes showy ways? Is it perhaps, do you always put on a daily Bible verse? Do you always talk about other things? Do you always pretend that God is great and that you have all the answers? Or not God is great, God is great. That life is great and perfect and you have all the answers. How do you live a life that is quietly devoted to God? Do you make a big deal when you do something? Or do you just consistently do it because you know that that is what your life is about? Because you have chosen to make a promise to God and you've chosen God's way. Sometimes, I know even I do things to prove or show how cool I am. But most of all, the times in my life where I have shown my truest devotion to God are the quiet moments that no one sees. And sometimes I don't even recognize them myself, but God sees. Will you pray with me? Gracious and loving God, help me to show my devotion to you in ways that are pleasing to you, whether it's quiet or out loud, whether it is recognized at all. Let me to make you the center of my life. Amen. Thank you so much for joining me for this daily devotion. I hope that you have a blessed day.